Hey there, bestie. I'm Lori Me, your What to Read Next podcast host. Join me as we dive into exciting new reads that'll have you reaching for your TBR pile in no time. From group mysteries to spicy romances, we'll explore it all and help you find your next favorite book. So grab a cup of tea, cozy it up, and let's discover some amazing reads together.
Hi, Stacy. Welcome to What.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I come to romance writing from other writing careers that I sort of had before this. I started as a journalist and a nonfiction book writer, and then kind of segued into TV writing for a while. And so this is kind of the next in probably a series of writing careers I will have over my lifetime, but I'm really enjoying romance. So I may stick here for a while.
I love this. So talk to us about how did you discover romance? Because I feel like you were Judy Blume growing up.
I was definitely Judy Blume growing up. And, definitely some of the Sweet Valley High, good old romances that we had, and some Danielle Steele, like the traditional classics. I mean, we had some options. We didn't have as many options as we do now, though. So, yeah, so it was a bit of a leap, and an exciting one to kind of discover what was available in romance when I sort of started looking into it as a reader and when I started thinking about writing. And I mean, it's grown like crazy since then, just in the 4 years since I've been doing it. But yeah, I mean, it's such a fun, genre to kind of play in. I feel like, I mean, I'm very solidly in contemporary romance, on the sweet and spicy side, but I don't do dark romance. I don't do shifters. I'm pretty traditional and small town, kind of. I've stayed in that. I've done some sports, but for the most part, I'm sort of, staying in the lane I'm in, and it's good. And I like the other authors who are in there with me, and it's been great.
Yeah, I love partial to small town romance. I feel like there's something to be said. The dynamics of being in a small town, there's the community aspect, there's the characters, the multiple characters, even the big family or slight characters, and you get to just be part of it and you see your friends over time, multiple books, that gives you kind of a sense of comfort.
Yeah. And I love a big family. I'm a huge, I don't come from a big family, but I secretly wish I did, because I love a big family. I like messy family dynamics, lots of siblings, people sort of in each other's business. I like, the idea of just the smaller, environment where people know each other and they know each other's families and there's backstory. That's all for me, really good fodder for story.
Yeah, I come from a very small family. My other family is very small, and then my dad's side of the family is where there's 12 or 15 cousins, and so a big part of it, I'm not part of it, and so it's I love the dynamics of understanding part of this big family of we have friends that you have from growing up to you're an adult and you're the level of meddling that happens in a big family that you normally wouldn't see in friends. They're just, because they know they install the buttons, they know where the buttons are, they know the trick. Right. And so it's kind of fun to watch, read books and understand, just get to have that experience, just to go through the world and then seeing characters fall in love and probably off.
Yeah, it's great.
So let's talk about Love Me Truly. What is the elevator pitch?
Well, so it's the third in the series. They're all standalones, but it's about a large family in the wine country. And this is the third generation of owners of this family business, and there are 5 siblings. And so this is the book of Dash, who's the youngest of 3 brothers in that family, and has always sort of had the reputation of being the playboy, maybe not as serious, not as, type A as his brothers, at least that's what they think. And so he's kind of had to, shoulder that reputation. And so in the winery, he's the people person, he's the outward facing person who deals with other people. And then Mallory is someone who we've met in other books, and probably readers did not like her that much because she seemed a little standoffish, a little snooty, a little bit of a socialite. and also is somebody who's kind of misunderstood because like beneath that surface is somebody who's really hardworking and just wants to grow her own family's business into something that she could feel proud of. And so what's nice about the two of them is when they do kind of meet, they each have the impression that everybody else has of each other. And then as they get to know each other, they sort of peel back those layers and see what's underneath and find themselves in a marriage of convenience or a fake engagement initially, partly to get rid of her ex, who's been kind of following along in and tied to her by her parents. And so they feel like she needs to have a man in the mix in order to be able to inherit the property and run the business. And so if it just needs to be a man, she'll go with this other guy, of course, not planning to fall in love.
Yeah. So
that's more than an elevator pitch. That
is awesome. Because I did read the book. So this book actually deals with wineries and like the growth, the process. And so what kind of research did you have to pull up at this town and this experience? Because it does feel much more immersive than just saying like, oh, it's out in a random winery.
Yeah, I actually went up to Napa Valley, which is this is set, and spent some time at wineries, like not just wine tasting, but like really learning what. I went out at 5:30 in the morning to see them picking grapes and to see sort of how that works and who picks them and how quickly they do that, and then how the grapes go through the de-stemming machine and how they're sorted, what the big casks of wine look like, how long they spend sort of determining when they're ready. They could taste them at different points. It's really like chemistry. They're looking at the different grapes to see when they're ready to be picked and looking at the sugar content. And so it's very scientific and it's farming. And I, as a former journalist, love to kind of go down these rabbit holes and just find out, even if it only makes it into the book in one line, I still want to know everything.
Yeah.
So for me, that research was like huge. I've been there a couple of times, and every single time I'm walking down the street, I'm thinking, okay, well, this could like factor its way in. This could figure in somehow.
Yeah, I love Mallory's winery. Like the fact that she was like, she had a plan. Her parents were like, whatever, we're going to travel around, we're going to do our own thing. And Mallory, like, no, like, I actually wanted this to be like, it's successful. We got the best plot in the land. Want to make this the most successful. And like the fact that she had to go upstream, like, just in general, like saying, like, through that, her parents think that she had a man, like, not the right thing. It's like it's fascinating because we see Dash in a different perspective in an established winery, and then Mallory be like, "Well, we're gonna do this like in a different route, like probably go about." So there's a I feel that was something that is showcased the research that is like not just like not all wineries are the same, not all little landowners.
Yeah.
So what can we expect from you coming up, readers, after the finished Lori Truly? They can go back to the rest of the series, but also for me.
Yeah, so the two prior books in the series are to feature two of the other siblings, and I'm finishing up book 4 right now, so that should be released in the fall. That's another book in the series, another sibling, and then book 5 will follow that. It could continue. I'm not sure. I'm not saying never say never. So I don't, but the plan is to release those two next before I think about, anything beyond that.
Okay. So that keeps readers busy. They have 2 more books to go back.
Oh yeah.
And then they have 2 books to look forward to. It's
and I have another small town series that's set in the Bay Area of San Francisco. So that's also like, if people really need something to do, I've got 6 books in that series with, another family with siblings. So those are fun too.
So talk to us about that series. What is the first book in the series?
That series is my Berkeley Hills series. And that starts with a book where a kind of best friend is at a wedding. She hooks up with a guy, doesn't think that much about it. He has to run off like at midnight, like Cinderella. But basically it's because he's wearing an ankle monitor because he's been arrested or being tried for a white collar crime. And he then strolls into her office the next day and is her new client. So she's a lawyer. She has to defend him. She has to decide whether she really thinks he's innocent or not. And all this while, keep her distance from him, which is very hard. Oh. So it starts with that book, and that's the brother. And then he has 5 sisters. So it's very, very, very female heavy, and they're all in each other's business. It's pretty fun.
Oh, that was a fun. You have me white collar crime.
I know, it's pretty fun.
But it is trying to say it's more like how to say it? There's victims in white collar crime. There are victims. There's but it's not as gruesome.
Oh no, this is like stock market. This is, nobody was injured in the creating of this crime.
Yeah. So I try like, I should go back to that one. So so back to some book recommendations. Do you tend to read based on like more of like thrillers, mysteries, commercial fiction?
I bounce around a lot. I like to know what people are doing in romance. But I do love like a good psychological thriller. So, I kind of got sucked in with Gone Girl, in that era, and then have just like blown through all these authors, Ruth Ware and Karen Slaughter. And like, they're these great authors that have, these page-turning books that I think are phenomenal. So that's definitely something that's a kind of guilty pleasure. When I want to read, I just dive into those. And then I always kind of want to know what won the Pulitzer, what's on the Booker Prize list, what's on the bestseller list. And I want to sort of just stay current and know, some of it's book club reading. Like I have them in 2 book clubs. So a lot of times I'll get to do those, through the book club, and then we can talk about them. But I usually have something on my nightstand or on my shelf that like from, that's just a contemporary fiction book. I haven't been reading nonfiction lately, which is a weird. I used to read it a lot, and so I need to I'll probably switch back into it at some point.
Yeah, well, sometimes the world should. So you might as well just go escape somewhere else.
Sometimes,
or live somewhere else, or understand, like, how someone else go through their domestic suspense that's happening, to keep it going. The story time. So, Stacy, tell us where you find me online.
Where to find me online. So it's just my name, stacytravis.com is my website. And then I'm kind of all over the place on Instagram. I think it's Stacy Travis Author. And on TikTok, I think it might also be Stacy Travis Author. So I'm all over those, and Facebook, and all of that's actually on my website too. So that's an easy one.
Awesome. Thank you, Stacy, for being on the show.
Oh my God, this was great. This is really fun.
Thanks for joining me on this episode of the What to Read Next podcast. If you enjoy our bookish conversations and want more recommendations, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Also, head on over to the What to Read Next blog for a list of books mentioned in today's show. Happy reading!